All right. Welcome in, ladies. We just wanted to jump in here live and talk to you, except Instagram took away my live feature. We just wanted to jump in here because Alyssa is in the Ambitious Academy and we were talking on Boxer today and she was talking about some huge things that she did today. And I actually just think other women really need to hear this stuff because I think too many women think that there's some magic secret sauce out there, some magic way to do things, and everybody else has it figured out except for them. And it's just not true. We all have to walk through the process of being scared, being uncomfortable, doing the things. And the other thing I want to say is it's often very confident, very competent, very smart women who do run into these imposter syndrome walls or these fears and doubts. So it's really important to know that you're not alone if you're going through this. So Alyssa, can you please jump in, just like introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about exactly what you were talking about that happened to you this morning?
Yeah. So, hey, everyone. My name is Alyssa. I run a business called the Karuna Lab. It helps high achieving women make better decisions, trust themselves more, understand their assumptions. And I'm actually even still working on my I help statement. It's morphing, it's changing based on who I want to call in, which Mara has helped me so much with that. So, this morning, my event is called Trust the Pivot: How Ambitious Souls Build Enough Self-Trust to decide and move. And so I just initially just went for it. I was super excited. I was borrowing Mara's belief in me. And I was like, I'm just going to go and like ask these people. They're probably going to say no. They said yes. So I have three big fish on my panel for this event. Mind you, this is my first event. It is January 28th. We are still at the top of the year. And I was feeling like, oh my gosh. So I was excited when the person said yes that I interviewed today. Her name is Casey. She said yes. And so we got to today, which is interview day. And I woke up and my throat was hurting and I was just feeling like icky and groggy. And I was like, maybe I should cancel this interview with Casey. Like, I'm so nervous. What am I going to say? What if it doesn't go well? What if she thinks I'm a hack? Mind you, this is somebody that's big in my industry. Like, I want her to like me. I'm not afraid to say that. I wanted her to really like me. And so I started like that voice in my head, that naysaying voice just was going like it was going hard. It was going bananas, as I said in the Voxer. Like it was just going and giving me great evidence and great excuses to use in order to get out of it. But I said, no, I know how to interview. I know I used to be in charge of interviewing when I was in corporate. I know how to interview people. I know how to rock an interview myself. Like I know what to do. Like just do it. Just give yourself the evidence that you can do it. So I didn't cancel the interview and it ended up going amazing. So much so that when I stopped the recording, Casey was like, those questions were really good. Like, where did you get those questions? What did you do? And I was just amazed because it also felt so good to know that somebody in my industry is co-signing what I'm trying to do. Like just go for it. Just do it. If you're afraid, let that can be there. That's not going to go away. But being afraid doesn't mean stop.
Yeah, I love that. I also think that something that we never think about when we're hosting collaborative events. I know I talked to this about this on Vox, but it's like you realize once you start interviewing these big fish that you deserve a seat at the table and that you deserve to be in the room. You are an authority too. And I think that's like we all think, oh, we need a strategy to bring in leads. But what actually ends up happening when you're running these events is all these other pieces of the puzzle start to fall into place and you actually show up as an authority and you actually show up as who you really are. And but it's okay if you're scared. It's like, when you're like about to jump off the cliff because you're cliff diving with your kids and you're not even on a very high one, but you have to do it. And then as soon as it's over, you're like, oh my gosh, that was so easy. Like, why didn't I just, but I love the fact that you jumped in Voxer. You were like, I'm freaking out. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I'm so scared to do this. And then you were just like, afterwards, you jumped into Vox again. You were just like, that was so good. So
Yeah.
I just wanted us to share that today because I think in our industry, we think there's, like I said, like some magic formula and everybody else except for you has it. And then as soon as you realize that it's just walking through the process and just getting the support to hold your heart more than anything through
Mhm.
that process of like, I'm a super smart, confident person, except I'm super scared and I feel like an imposter and I feel, you know what I mean? That's so normal. It's such a human thing to experience. So I
You're
just wanted to
absolutely.
share it with everyone today because I felt like
Yeah.
a huge win.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, I want to add to that. I hear so much of like coaching is dead, courses are dead, like all these things. People will tell you that, but it's not. First of all, it's not dead. People are still very much paying for courses and coaches and all of these things because they're interested in getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible. But also what has to happen and what shifted is your self-belief. You have to have more self-belief than you did when coaching first started online, in 2009 or whatever, whenever it first started, right? Because the market is more saturated. So you have to be sharper in your messaging. You have to be sharper in what you believe. You have to be sharper in who you help and what you help them with. But it doesn't mean that it's dead. And this is why I love this program so much because it helps me sharpen all those important blades that need to be sharp in order for me to cut through the noise of the industry and call in my people. And the thing that was really hard for me in the beginning of the program was realizing that if you're going to be magnetic, like we want to magnetize our people to us, you have to be polarizing. So you have to, while you are saying who you help, that means you're saying also who you don't help. And Mara really had to work with me to be like, no, you're helping ambitious women. You're helping ambitious women who blank, who want blank. And it was just really hard for me because I was like, before, which wasn't working, I was like, no, it's kumbaya. I want to help everybody. Like, come on in. And nobody was coming in because it wasn't specialized.
Yeah.
So that is a huge thing. And the other thing that we put together this week in the call was we want this phone booth moment like Superman who who goes into the phone booth as Clark Kent and then he like rips his clothes off and he's Superman and he goes to save the day. We want that. We want this confluence of circumstances where everything is perfect and then we get to rip our clothes off and show everybody how amazing we are. And you have to work so hard to get to that point. Like we use the analogy of Superman wears his costume underneath his suit all day until he's ready for his phone booth moment. And so that's uncomfortable. And we have to be willing to be uncomfortable until we can get to our phone booth moment. It doesn't happen vice versa.
I don't think anyone ever talks about that part of the story where he's like so uncomfortable and itchy, right? Like, and then he
Yeah.
gets the moment to save the day.
Yeah, he's wearing spandex with the underwear on the outside. Like that cannot be comfortable, right?
Yeah, it
But
would be awful.
it's really about braving the discomfort, which I definitely did. And I'm so happy that Mara was there. And that's one of the things I love about this program as well. Voxer Access is always open. And she's like, oh, she says, she'll get back to it, but she gets back to it so quick. Like I know that that's not always guaranteed, but I'm like, this woman doesn't sleep. She gets back to it
I love
so
it.
quickly.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's helping. I think that in this stage a lot there's like a big collective shift that's happened. And I think because we can go to AI for all the step-by-step stuff, it's like that's not actually what we need and crave anymore. It's like connection and real support. And like I said earlier, it's like that's how I describe it. Like I need somebody to hold my heart through the fear and the imposter syndrome and because everybody has it at every level in business. And so I think that everyone's like, oh man, is this industry even going to be around in 5 years? And I'm like, I think it is because there's no way to replicate that human connection that we feel. We can ask a sounding board, and maybe AI will get so good one day, but I doubt it. I don't
Yeah.
think that there's really any chance that somebody can understand like ambitious mom life. It's like, oh, I'm going to blur the background because my kid's going to jump on the trampoline. It's like, yeah, cool. That's what the ambitious mom movement's all about, right? I got my
Yeah.
suitcases packed. We're leaving to Mexico tomorrow morning. Luckily, I had a couple hours. Reese took the kids to get haircuts. It's like now we're like, oh, let's jump on a live and talk about this because it's important for other women to hear this. I don't know. I think that having and what I also think about our call yesterday specifically was like this feels like a real mastermind. I never called it that, but
Mhm.
I truly believe in real masterminding, which is taking two minds, putting them together, and it creates something bigger than they could have ever
Mhm.
accomplished alone. And that was the whole goal of what I'm creating in the academy. So I'm glad that that's how you're feeling in it.
Yes, you are hitting the mark. You're hitting the bullseye. And I also don't think that coaching is going away anytime soon because it's just repackaged apprenticeship. An apprenticeship has been around as long as people have been artisans and making art and making, like, doing different things. Like, I want another mom who understands what it's like to be a mom to help me run a successful business, right? Like, I am an apprentice of yours and anyone else who joins this program. If you're on the fence about it, consider this your sign to get off the fence and get in here because this is the apprenticeship that you need. So I don't think that it's going anywhere. I think we're just going to have to get more and more specialized about the transformation that we provide for people.
I agree. I think the way that we show up and say things has definitely shifted, but like you said, it just needs to be sharper. You just need to be more clear. If you can't tell me in 30 seconds who you actually serve and what your offer is, then how is your ideal client supposed to know? You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
have to dial it in.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you help beautifully with that. So I hope that whoever is listening, you are, considering this your sign to get in here. I would love to, have you meet you, all of the things, and you get to see it's just so beautiful and vulnerable because Mara will also share where she's struggling, right? It's not like she's up here and we're down here. Like she also shares her struggle. So it's just a beautiful, like she said, mastermind, just a beautiful environment to learn and grow and reshape your business into something that not only you want it to be now, but that it can continue to be for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Alyssa. Thanks so much
You're
for
welcome.
Hi, ladies. If you need to know more about the Ambitious Academy or you think it might be for you, reach out to me and we can chat. Cheers.